First, there's virtual reality, or VR, which is a fully immersive environment. Here, you put on a headset and the real world disappears. You're standing in a simulated space that could be a factory floor, a hospital room, or even the surface of Mars. Next is augmented reality, or AR, which adds a digital layer on top of the real world. Think of holding up your phone or tablet and seeing instructions, arrows, or labels overlaid on the space in front of you. Finally, there's mixed reality, or MR, which blends digital content with the real world in a way that allows you to interact with it. Digital objects are anchored in your environment, and then you can walk around them, manipulate them, and sometimes collaborate with others around the same 3D content. Now, rather than memorizing those definitions, I want you to think in terms of when each one shines. If you need people to safely practice in a high risk or high cost environment, VR might be your best tool. If you need people to stay in the real environment and get guidance in the flow of work, AR becomes really powerful. If you need people to collaborate around complex 3D objects or spaces, MR can open up new possibilities. So the question isn't which headset is coolest. The question is, which modality actually fits the problem I'm trying to solve? So before you even whisper the words VR, AR, MR to your stakeholders, you need a clear learning problem and a clear outcome. Here, you might ask yourself, what do learners need to do differently after this experience? Is it about reducing safety incidents, improving judgment under pressure, speeding up time to proficiency, or something else altogether? Then get honest about whether immersive tech is really needed. Could this be solved with a simpler option, like a video, a branching scenario, a job aid, or a short blended experience? If the answer is yes, you might not need VR, AR, MR at all. And that's actually a win for you as an instructional designer because you're protecting your organization's time, budget, and learners' energy. However, if immersion does add something essential, like realism, emotional impact, or the ability to practice safely, then it becomes worth exploring. At the same time, you have to factor in constraints such as, do learners actually have access to devices or headsets? What are the IT and security policies like? And how much time can learners realistically spend in these experiences? Also, we can't forget about accessibility and inclusion. Not everyone can or should use a headset. Some learners may experience motion sickness, sensory overload, or other physical challenges. So you'll always want an equivalent pathway, maybe a 2D version on a screen, or a guided simulation that doesn't require a headset. If you'd like to go deeper on designing with all learners in mind, I highly recommend revisiting a couple of earlier episodes. I've also provided a link to these episodes in the show notes. In episode 44, A Guide to Universal Design for Learning, I walk through how to plan for variability from the very beginning of your design, so more learners can access and engage with the experience in ways that work for them. Then in episode 65, Accessibility in Action, we get really practical about making learning experiences usable and welcoming for as many people as possible. Everything from captions and color contrast to alternate formats and assistive technology. Those two episodes pair really well with what we're talking about today, especially when you're deciding who can safely and comfortably participate in VR, AR, or MR, and what equivalent options you'll provide.